Okay, yesterday we were talking about prepositions. Okay, so let's get a little check on prepositions. So when we use in, we have the idea of something with limits, as I told you yesterday. Limits exist. Okay, when limits exist, we use preposition in. For example, geographical locations, all of them, from the tiniest town or the tiniest village to Asia, that is the largest continent. Why? Because since the administrative point of view or since the geographical point of view, they have limits. Okay? When you are in Babahoyo, Babahoyo has their own limits. You know where Babahoyo finishes and starts another location or another town or another city. When you talk about a canton, in English we use the same word, canton. The canton has its administrative limits. So you know when you are in Pichincha and when you go to Otavalo. So it has limits. They are not physically represented or seen. It's not a line on the floor that says here finishes Pichincha and here starts, I don't know, Otavalo. Okay, but there is an administrative procedure that set the limits. I don't know, here in Venezuela, when you cross the border from one municipality to the other, they have like a sign. You are leaving Valencia, you are entering Naguanagua, which is the municipality next to Valencia. Okay, Valencia is like, used to be the main city, but it grew. So the outskirts and the suburbs became part of the city. So the city is composed by Municipio Valencia, Municipio San Jose, and Municipio Naguanagua, Municipio Los Guayos, and that's it. So you know when because they put signs, Bienvenido a Naguanagua, so you know when you're trespassing the limits. So we use in for all those geographical locations. They have limits, they have borders, even countries. Continents have borders, have limits. You say, okay, but what's the border of a continent? The coast. The coast is the border, is the limit of the continent. We also have the water bodies. Everything related to water, use the preposition in. Okay, bathtub, pools, sea, the ocean, a bucket. You put your hands in a bucket of water, or if you are very tired and your feet hurt, you put your feet into a bucket of hot water or into a pail of hot water. You put things into pots and pans because it's not only the recipient, but also the water. And that's the next one. Recipients, any kind of thing that can hold other things or liquids inside. Okay? A recipient in English is everything that can hold something inside. Actually, when you win a scholarship or when you are given a scholarship, you become the recipient, not the beneficiary, but the recipient of a scholarship. Why? Because you receive it for you. Okay, and you hold it. You hold the scholarship by studying hard, by getting good grades, by attending classes. So when a person receives some kind of benefit, the person is called the recipient. The recipient of benefits. Okay, at Correa times, poor people were the recipients of benefits by the government, as Chavez time.
Okay. Recipient.
So basically, and some students miss, and what about in a book or in a notebook? They have limits, the front cover and the back cover. the limits of a book, a magazine, a notebook. Okay, so basically, when we talk about in location terms, we have those general terms: geographical location, water bodies, and any kind of recipient. And with the car is because you need to bend to get in. Okay, in a car, in a van, in a taxi. Those are the only transportation that use the preposition in. So in transportation, the only ones are car, extended to taxi, that is some kind of car, and a van. Because even you can say, and be careful, it's a van. It's not a minibus. Okay, because on a minibus, you get standing. But in a van, you have to bend to get in and sit down. Okay? In the case of on, we talk about surfaces. Either horizontal or vertical. Okay? So, for example, a nail to hang a picture, a nail is not on, it's in the wall. Why? Because you pierce the wall, okay? But the picture is on the wall. Why? Because the two surfaces are in contact. Miss, and what about the wall is vertical? It doesn't matter. On has to do with position on surfaces, either or horizontal or vertical. Okay, so when we use preposition on, we're talking about things that are located on a surface. In with the limits, and when you put a nail, the limits are all the wall surrounding the nail. Okay, I think I have a nail over here. No, I moved it. No, here is the nail. So if you talk about a nail and you put it into the wall surrounds the tip of the nail. So the nail is in the wall. But whichever you hang from the nail is on the surface of the wall when it is set. So the nail is in the wall, but the picture it holds is on the wall. Okay. And all transportation is used with on, as I told you yesterday, because there is a change in the level. You are not at the level of the ground, but a little bit or a long way up. Okay. In the case of vessels, sea or water vessels, you are on the surface of that thing that at the same time is on the water, on the surface of the water. Okay? So it is on. If you get on a plane, it's because to get into the transportation, you have to walk on a tunnel, on a device that is a long way over the ground. Okay? Besides, when you get on a plane and you see it, you are over the level of the ground. Train and train stations and are always on the level of the surface. That's the idea. And the same with skates, skateboards, surfboards. You are on a surface that separates you from the level of the ground. Okay? And finally, and this is general terms, not getting into detail, but as you know, if you have the knowledge, it's not necessary for you to enumerate all the things like I do with the students. Okay? And when we talk about that, we talk about one, indefinite, places or location using around a point of reference. Okay? And when we talk indefinite place, we talk about two different aspects: size and certainty. Okay? What does it mean? Indefinite place because of a size. When we talk about a mall that is one of those large areas here, it would be the Portal. The Portal Mall has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 levels, plus an open area where some restaurants and shops are set, and some usually car shops or mechanic shop or mechanic garages that are on the parking lots under the level of ground. Okay, in Portal, if you go to the second level of the basement in the parking lot, you can find people who washes your car, who offer the service of washing and vacuum your car, or a mechanic that can fix issues about your car, a motorcycle dealer, a car rental. Okay, and they are in the second parking lot, the second level down in the parking lot. Okay, so the place is so large that if you call someone and say, hey, where you are, that person will say, I'm at El Portal Mall, somewhere into El Portal. Okay. Secondly, certainty. It is 20 to 11. Okay. My sister works teaching music at an international school until 12. Then she has an hour and a half break and she starts teaching again at 1:30. Okay, so I look at the time, I say, okay, here is 11, in Venezuela is 20 to 12. Okay, and if you ask me, Miss Alejandra, where is your sister in Venezuela? I say, well, she should be at school. Or she is at school. Because I suppose, I'm certain that she is at school. Because her schedule determines that at this time in Venezuela, she should be teaching. And there is 20 minutes for her lunchtime. Okay? Because I'm certain. But am I sure? Maybe she has a teacher's meeting, so she's not giving classes. Maybe her students from 11 to 12 has some kind of extracurricular activity and they are not at school, they are somewhere else. Or maybe they have a sport competition, so her students are not taking the music class because they're involved in a different activity. But I don't know. Okay, I'm certain that this is part of her working schedule, but I'm not sure if she's really teaching. That is why we use at. Okay, or somebody asked me, hey, I gave permission. My daughter told me, Mommy, I'm visiting a friend, okay, in Tumbaco. I said, okay. And somebody, my son-in-law calls me and say, hey, Grita, where is Anna? And I said, well, Anna went to visit Maria in Tumbaco. She is at Maria's. But I'm certain that she left for Maria's house. But am I sure that she is at Maria's house and not with her at a restaurant, eating, having dinner, having lunch? Or am I sure that she is at Maria's house and not on the bus back? I don't know. That's why we use at for indefinite places, either for size or because I'm not sure that a person or the person or the I refer to is actually at that real place. Okay? Secondly, locations around a point of reference. And that's why I tell my student, hey, listen, at is a joker, like in the cards. It's a joker prepositions. Okay, because the joker can assume the number of any of the cards. And at can substitute all prepositions. If this is a table, okay, if this is a table, for example, and you are here, here it is, and you are here, you are at the table. If you are here, you are at the table. If you are here, you are at the table. If you are here, you are at the table. If you are here, or here, or here, or here, you said, where is Peter sitting? He's sitting at the table in any of those positions. That's why I tell the students, if you do not remember how to say detrás, behind, okay, al frente, opposite, al lado, beside, cerca, next to, near, you can use preposition at. And people will understand you. Why? Because the location is your point of reference. Okay? For example, when we talk about the cinema, students usually say, hey, listen, wait. When you says at the movies or at the cinema, why do you say at the movies or at the cinema if you are actually inside a place? So limits exist. The limits are the roof, the walls, the floor of the theater. And you say, okay, but the person is watching. The intention of them was seeing a movie. So everybody is sitting in rows, different location rows, and so on. But everybody has the screen in front of them, opposite to them. So no matter where you are, you can see the movie. So which is my point of reference? The screen where the movie is shown, because I go to the movies. Okay? I can go to the cinema to meet someone and decide if we see a movie or not. But when I say I go to the movies, it means my intention is see a movie. No meet someone, no check to decide if I see it or not. I have already made the decision to see a movie. So which is the point of reference? The screen. No matter where you sit, everybody is opposite to the screen. So when people call you, say, hey, where are you? I'm at the movies. I'm waiting for the movie to start. Okay. And that's why also at is indefinite place. Why? Because if you would return to the table setting, you are somewhere around the table. Okay? In front, behind, beside, next to, near, opposite. But you always refer to the table as the reference for the position. Okay? Did you get the idea?
Okay. Yeah, I got it.
Okay, nice. So it's, for us as professionals in the area, it's easy to understand it. But for students, it can be hard.
Yeah.
Okay? And you have to enumerate in for villages, towns, countries, states, cantons, municipalities, countries, and continents. And in the earth. And sorry, in the world. Because the world is supposed to be the group of cultures developed by mankind. So you are surrounded by cultures. But on the earth. But why? Because we're talking about the planet and we are on the surface of the planet. So in the case of students, you have to give the small chunks of information and explain each chunk so students can assimilate that in no es en, because you are En el avión, but you don't say in the plane, but on the plane. That's a problem when you try to teach prepositions for people who are learning English and not for someone who manages the language. And actually, I remember that the most difficult things to teach children is this, prepositions. And I would say to teach anyone who wants to learn about English has a shock with the prepositions. Is that your experience too?
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
usually.
years before, because I only work with the bachillerato,
In high
and
school.
yeah, in the high school.
Okay. Wait, let me get. What happens with your hand? Give me. My daughter, when you tell my daughter we're going to the supermarket, she gets so happy. It's strange, it's weird. Because usually children don't get happy about running errands, going to the supermarket or going to the grocery store. They say, that's boring. But my granddaughter gets so happy when she hears, okay, let's go to the supermarket and say, yes. And she knows that we go to either to Supermaxis or to the Tutti. So she says, we go to the Tutti, yes. And I have just told her, hey, listen, we're going to the Tutti. And she went, okay. So let's do a little practice with in, on, at to close the subject. Okay. So in old spy films, they often exchange prisoners in the border, on the border, or at the border. The border is my reference.
The prisoners. Yeah. In the border.
At the border. Because the border is no space, it's just a line. Okay, and it's a long line that surrounds the country. So in which definite area, they are going to exchange prisoners? Somewhere.
A reference.
Yes, somewhere along the border, in some place along the border, at the border. It's like, remember yesterday we talked about at the beach? It's the same area, it's the same concept.
I'm going to double check.
Okay, over 200 guests, imagine a large amount of people, were the wedding reception.
Were in the wedding reception.
Again, the word reception have limits.
Oh.
No. When you go to a party or to a reception, are you standing in a single place and you don't move from that place during the whole event? No. So people move, besides this is a large amount of people move from one place to another. So we talk about at the wedding reception.
Okay, at the wedding.
Yes, because if somebody calls you, hey, Guillermo, where are you? You say, mira, estoy en una boda, estoy en la fiesta, en una fiesta, un matrimonio. Okay, so are you in a place, in a definite place, unless you say, I am in the hall where there is a wedding reception. So we're talking location in a hall, in un salón de fiestas. Okay. He kept all his rubbish, his attic, rather than getting rid of it. The attic is that area in the top of the house where the roof is like this.
On his attic.
No, the roof, if you have a house, an American or a European style house, you have, this is the house. Okay, you have the first floor, the second floor, and then you have a very small area.
Yeah,
Some people make it a guest room. Some people make a room and rent that area. Other people build here like a sewing room, un cuarto para coser, okay? Or a painting studio or an area for watching TV, okay? Like a game room. And other people just don't do any of those things. Just put the old stuff there, like a bodega.
yeah, bodega.
Okay? So if all the things are contained in that area, it has the limits, the roof and the floor. So it would be in his attic. Their head.
That was the first word I selected. I said it on the high level.
Mm-hmm.
I thought,
Yes, but it is in,
okay,
because we put the things inside that area, not somewhere else. Their
okay.
head office is a prestigious part of the capital. We're talking about one definite part of the capital. We're talking about part of the capital.
It's at a prestigious.
It depends on how it is located. At a prestigious
I
or
was
in a
going to use
prestigious.
in a prestigious.
Both are
That's my
correct.
first. Okay,
The
both.
criminals who burgled my flat will be court tomorrow.
Will be.
The court is also called courtroom. La
Okay,
sala
it's
del tribunal.
in courtroom.
In court tomorrow. They don't put room, but American English use courtroom. El lugar donde está el juez sentado, etc.
Okay, correct.
We played football all day. The new pitch, in this case, pitch is the area where people can play football. It's like a campo.
On the new pitch.
How on? Es una cancha, es un campo de fútbol.
At.
Cuando uno juega fútbol, ¿verdad? No importa qué tan grande sea el espacio, uno sabe que es el espacio para jugar fútbol porque tiene unas rayas blancas,
Yeah.
dos arquerías, creo que una raya aquí, otra raya aquí, no sé, un cuadradito que es el área,
Yeah.
¿verdad? Entonces, no importa si es un terreno muy grande, el área donde se puede jugar fútbol está delimitada. Si está delimitada, tiene límites, y si tiene límites, la preposición es
In. Limit,
Okay.
límites, limit. Ya,
Límites,
tengo anotado, límites exist.
Entonces, they waited patiently on the back door for him to come back. Of course, the preposition is mistaken. Why the preposition is mistaken?
Let me see if I can see it. Where is? Oh, yeah.
On the back door.
They waited patiently on the back.
On the back door.
For him to come, okay.
Which position would you use?
Patiently in. No.
Si yo pongo in, abro un hueco en la puerta y me meto. Si yo digo in the back door, si digo on the back door, estoy montado arriba de la puerta o recostado así de la puerta. Si digo in the back door, le abro un hueco a la puerta y me meto adentro de la puerta. Pero si digo at the back door, estoy al lado de la puerta, frente a la puerta, detrás de la puerta, cerca de la puerta.
Back door, back room.
No, back door.
Door.
Let me put it larger so you can see it better.
I read room.
Room, no, it's door.
Well,
Number 2, they had to wait all afternoon at the queue for the opera tickets.
Yeah,
They are standing in something that has a beginning and an end, and everybody must be behind the person in front
In the queue.
in the queue. Okay, because the queue has
But
limits.
in this case, I can use both, or
No, in.
no, only in
¿Por
the
qué?
queue.
Porque yo tengo que estar con una persona al frente y una persona detrás. La cola tiene un inicio y un final, y yo no me puedo mover hacia cualquier parte porque pierdo mi
Okay.
puesto. Entonces, tengo límites. Ok, yo no me puedo parar 3 metros más allá de la cola, ni pegarme de la espalda del que está delante, ni recostarme del que está atrás. Ok, y no me puedo ir directo a comienzo porque la cola tiene comienzo y final.
Pregúntale a Juani qué quiere. Pregúntale a Juani qué quiere.
Okay. This snake is reputed to be the most poisonous the world.
In the world.
In the world. Estamos rodeados de gente y de culturas. In the world. All the cutlery is on the tray, ready to be carried into the dining room. The tray es como una, no solo es una bandeja, es como una cesta, en este caso. So it's on the train, is it in the train or at the tray?
In the tray, ready to be.
In the train, dentro de la bandeja que tiene bordes, el piso y los bordes de la bandeja que sube. She used to own a luxury village on the outskirts of a medieval town. We're talking about a town.
To own a luxury villa. Outskirts of a medieval.
We're talking about a town. Geographical location.
Location.
In a town.
In
a town, in a city, in a village.
Geographical location.
Yes. The facilities in that cruise ship are incredible. We're talking about ship. Transportation on that cruise. There are lots of fortified castles in, on, or at the border between Spain and Portugal.
At the border.
At the border. A lot of children are failing to achieve at school because they are spending too much time on their phones, in their phones, at their phones.
At their phone.
At their phones.
They
can have their phones in front of their face. They can have their phones at their ears. They can have their phones on their laps, in their hands. But my point of reference for their attention is the phone. Okay? So on Tuesday, we might practice a little bit more and get to report speech. Okay?
Okay.
So have a nice day. Hope you will be safe at school.
We hope to. Thank you, Miss.
Okay,
Bye.
thank you for your time.